So you can take a seat or lie down, closing the eyes, opening the palms, and taking a few deep breaths or yawns. And just starting to feel that you are landing in your body, that you're softening in your body, inside yourself. And it's almost like a sinking down feeling, this relaxing into oneself. And I feel if anything is happening here, it is the slow awareness that it's actually pretty okay to live life in this form, in this body. So as much as possible, relaxing into it and then leaning the awareness to the breath or to the space around you, or maybe to the movement of energy that you start to notice. Life is energy, and there is always energy moving through you. So seeing if you can start to notice this beautiful flow from the base of the spine upwards, and welcoming whatever that awareness then does with your human experience. So welcoming every flavor of that. Fear, discomfort, joy, expansion, rage, anger, frustration, nervousness, sadness, loneliness. And let's welcome it like it's just a color or it's just a specific vibration. Not like it is you, like it is your story and like it means something about you. Because in the end of the day, that's freedom. If all of reality is energy, which it is, at least all of the manifest reality is energy. And if emotions are energies in motion, and if every human being knows these emotions because it's a part of what it currently means to be a human being, then can we just let those sensations be there without creating a story, making it mean something about us, making it mean something about others, but just sensing reality? And maybe in that way, life will shift into something sensational. And maybe sensational is nothing more than opening up all the senses. And experiential life allows all of your senses to open up. And when you leave energy alone, undefined, uninterpreted, it starts to actually alchemize into life force, alchemize into pure love, alchemize into this space that it came from. So the combination of leaving life alone, uninterpreted, and being willing to experience whatever interpretations and fragmentations you empowered in the past, the combination of the two is how liberation becomes a felt experience in every moment. So keep breathing and relaxing and seeing if we can allow this liberation to be a felt and sensed experience in every moment. By recognizing that everything is energy, everything is a sensation, we no longer have to interpret, we can just experience. Almost feeling like your mind is opening up into this space, into this air. Letting all of the heaviness drain out of the mind, because the heaviness of the mind was just in place because somehow we were unwilling to be the feeling being, and because we made something wrong inside us or about us. And nothing is wrong inside you or about you. However, at some point we can stop making everything mean something about us and about others and about life, and we can simply open our heart to the experience of the energy, to the experience of how it moves through us. And then we can start to notice that energy alchemizes. And maybe you already noticed that by coming to these streams, that energy alchemizes, that in the beginning, maybe there's a lot of fear vibration or frustration or sadness. And at some point, by your willingness to let that flow through you, at some point that starts to alchemize and shift into source energy, because everything is the same energy. And everything that you allow, that you don't block by your interpretation, by your suppression, but you let it flow uninterpreted, everything starts to be revealed as that pure energy. And for some, that feels like a vibrant movement, quite joyful, playful. And some manifestations of this feels like just a warm, pure love, like so soft and tender, almost like a melting, like you're melting with the air. You're melting in your cells, you're melting with your surroundings. And another way of experiencing it is just this complete transcendent expansion. And this transcendent expansion especially isn't you moving away from your body, which is how it has historically often been experienced. It is actually you starting to reveal that transcendent nature from within your cells, from within your physical structure. I may be wrong in this, but I really feel like our physiology, our biology, our DNA, everything about our physicality is shifting in this window of time. And I feel that we are going to start accessing ways of being that we couldn't imagine, and abilities that we couldn't imagine, and discover how much more there is beyond the hyper focus on one's humanity and trying to be an identity in this world. There is so much more when we align with the soul, when we align with source energy, when we move through this rotation of letting everything that is survival based lift up and out. Our physiology really is starting to shift and access a lot of things that we before may have called magical, or that may have been very strange for us to access. I know that for me, and I don't talk about it a lot, but I know that for me, when everything started to shift inside me and it went very fast in a very short time, I started to access all kinds of things that I never believed in, thought could happen. And I think that all the things that I then experienced are still only fractions of what humanity can do and access when we learn to live from the heart, when we learn to live in connection with the creative energy that we are a part of. And I'm not talking about the manifesting your material life and making a mood board and seeing reality step into that. I'm talking about experiences and things that right now you would only see in a science fiction kind of movie or storyline. Anyways, let's leave that in the middle because that's not what I wanted to talk about today. But let's start seeing or feeling if you can sense that your biology, your physiology, your DNA, your brain, your nervous system, everything is starting to shift, almost like in moments you notice like something is tweaking inside of you. It's all the time organizing or reorganizing inside of you. And so this infinite intelligence is the thing that keeps you alive at night, and it's the thing that is behind this whole evolution from a mind-based reality that is very fear-based and contracted to a heart-based reality which is very spacious, vibrant, playful, and tender and loving. And the tender and loving manifestation of humanity has so much potential. And the tender and playful and soft version of humanity is actually inside every human as a potential equally. So I know that sometimes when you get in connection with this or with me, it supports you in a life circumstance or situation. But actually what is starting to happen in a sneaky way under the surface is that your total potential is being liberated. You really are, by showing up here and by continuing to show up here, even just to these soul streams, you are shifting everything inside you. And it's not that you actively do something or I actively do something. It's just what's happening. It's a part of your unfolding. It's a part of your destiny to live as an embodied being. And I don't want to make that sound special. It is just what we all naturally are. And it's just that everything is coming up so that we can allow ourselves to finally fully rest inside our natural state. And this is also why in the last years or months or wherever you are with that, things are intensifying. Things are intensifying inside you. Things are intensifying around you. And that's because everything is coming up, everything is alchemizing, everything is being liberated. So let's see if today we can stop seeing that as a problem and we can start to surrender to what life is doing. Because I realized a long time ago, when I felt, and I do feel that always, the source of creation, it is completely benevolent. It's completely loving, like more than I had ever experienced before. And so if creation is completely loving, and if this infinite creation, this divine creatrix, is moving in support of me, then there's nothing to fear. Then even the things that are very challenging for you on a human level are only ever showing you what you can let go of, are only ever showing you yourself and where you are still walking around with a harness, where you can soften inside yourself more, where maybe you are not advocating on behalf of yourself and it's time to lovingly step towards the things that are serving you. All of these things, all of life is moving you closer to softness, to vulnerability, and to power. And I feel like for human beings, it's a whole new realization that actually our softness and our vulnerability is also our power. That historically we've known one of two things. We've known the inauthentic power, which is the blown up, ego-based manifestation of power, of being loud and smart and interesting. And that's actually everything that we build on top of our survival and try to be better than the small bits inside us. Or we were soft and we were tender and then we were doormats and everybody could just swipe their feet over us and we would be accommodators. And so this is a moment in time where the gap is closing, where we can start to see that our vulnerability and our loving articulation of also what we need and advocating on behalf of ourselves is actually power, and that inner power is a loving manifestation, and that all that external power is fear. It's fear with a big mouth. And so life only ever makes us aware of where we are sometimes walking around as fear with a big mouth, where we can soften, where we have left ourselves behind and where we are very broken about that or very angry about that, that we've just let that happen over and over and over again. Or sometimes we become aware of how incredibly afraid we've been because we've been trying to do everything right and life only ever shows us that we do everything wrong, and then we feel like the love is cut off. But from this inner power, we start to feel the truth. We start to feel the truth that the love can never be cut off. We start to feel the truth that this small part inside us can receive this warmth, this energy, this power. We start to connect our lower belly with our throat center and we start to voice what we need in this world from a vulnerable place. And we start to realize that we can live as one with the power of the infinite, know ourselves as the power of the infinite. And this literally allows the survival to start leaving your system. As much as I feel we are on a destined life path with destiny points that we have to complete and experience, and as much as I feel that there's nothing to do about that and we don't have to do anything about that, I do feel like life is draining out of us if we are willing to breathe and let go of it. The survival, the heightened tension, the control, everything that we did to try and be safe in that. And instead of being safe in that, which you are not, because by holding on to rage, you're not safe inside yourself. By holding on to fear, you're not safe inside yourself. So how about we give up that notion and that feeling and that impulse to control? And we soften, and instead we are allowing ourselves to be free in the midst of it. There is a freedom in deeper truth. There is a love in deeper truth. And then if you don't have to be so busy with trying to control life, there is also so much energy freeing up. Energy freeing up to smile, to be playful, to put your energy and your time into things that are nurturing for you, that make you happy. So just keep breathing and relaxing. And allowing all this energy that you held to move through and alchemize. Closing the gap. Starting to see that there are no contradictions in what is shared here. And somehow when you first come here, so many things seem like a contradiction and seem confusing. But the more you move into the heart, the more you welcome everything inside you, the more you start to access an experience from which the words start to make sense, to whatever degree they make sense for you. Closing the gap between what you feel your potential is, what you feel the truth of you is, and how you experience yourself in every moment. And recognizing that how you experience yourself every moment is the precise unfolding of an infinite intelligence, so that the gap is closing in your experience. What we are doing here is we are closing the gap experientially between who and what you are and how you walk around in this moment. And of course, who and what you are is always walking around with you as you are in every moment. But sometimes what you know will happen, or what your intuition shows you, and your experience of the moment is completely different. So life is closing the gap. Life is doing all of it. All you have to do is relax into it. And it's not passive, because you keep on walking your steps forward. Freedom isn't being passive and waiting for life to come towards you. Freedom is playing your part, stepping the steps forward anyways, while letting go of attachment and need. So it's easy to let go of control when you lie in your bed and that is all you do. It's easy to let go of control when you're walking in the forest and that is all you do. But can we also let go of control, let go of attachment, let go of need, while raising kids, while starting a job, while visiting our family, while the world is going through conflict. Just keep breathing and relaxing and seeing that life is moving around, closing the gap from mind to heart, from fear to love, from control to surrender, from inauthentic power to authentic power. Allowing your cells to soften, open, pulsate, release all that they no longer need to hold on to. And starting to feel that there is a light or a space or an energy inside, at the depths of everything that lives, everything that is a part of this divine creatrix. Opening that up in your mind, your palms, your feet, your heart, and allowing that to radiate outwards, filling the room that you're in, your home, your neighborhood, city, village, country, continent, and the globe. In the deeper truth, you are one with this globe. You are the energy that is woven through everything in reality. You are connected to this fabric or this cloth of reality. Starting to receive everything you need inside yourself from this web that you are a part of. Starting to source your experience of yourself and life directly from this web that you are a part of, directly from the divine creatrix itself. Taking a breath. And on the exhale, start moving down through the layers of the earth, spotting your continent, country, city, village, street, neighborhood, your house, your room, your body, and letting all of that energy move through your crown, through the midline, into the pelvis, and from the pelvis into the earth. Anchoring yourself there, recognizing that life is the medicine, that life is the very thing that closes the gap between how you walk around and your deepest potential, until at one point the two are exactly the same, or you recognize that the two have always been the same. Opening your eyes, keeping the gaze soft, and slowly bringing your awareness all the way back. Thank you.